There are many laws in this world. Laws of attraction, laws of physics, Milo's Murphy law, law and order, Jim Crow laws, and so on and so on. But one of them stands out from the rest of them. A law that is very near and dear to my heart. It has to do with an individual. An individual that, with every passing day, it makes me ponder the meaning of life for which he lives his. And that individual is a man named Philip. Over my 7 to 8 years of knowing this man, I have been accustomed to his many little intricacies and factoids about him. Through documentation done by my good friend Drew, he has created an archive that is known by our friend group as the Philip Files, with this photo being the catalyst on July 15th, 2023. This project has years of photos, videos, messages with this lovely creature for all of our friends to reminisce on and laugh. But one thing that has spawned because of this is known as Philip's Law. Created on April 26, 2025, this is a collection of laws that apply to Philip and how he lives his life. Most of them don't make any sense whatsoever. Others are hilarious, and some are just true. But today I will go over each one that we have made so far and explain them to the best of my ability. I hope that you enjoy this, and maybe you could learn a thing or two about these awesome laws. Law number 1. If Philip can be late to something, he will. Philip among us is known to be fashionably late to anything that we plan. Factors to this mainly being him oversleeping or underestimating his arrival. For example, when my friends Preston and Hunter moved into their new house this summer, they went out to eat to celebrate and invited Philip, to which Philip overslept by an hour and then had the newlyweds waiting for almost an hour and a half without food. Another time that I remember was when we were going to our friend Chuck's house to watch Super Bowl 59, and Philip was running behind, as usual. We called to see where he was, and he said he got stuck behind a train, for about 10 minutes, give or take. And when it looked like the train had ended, a second one appeared, to which he exclaimed very loudly, "They're the second train!" Needless to say, whenever we plan anything from now on, we usually take into account Philip delays. So we push meeting times in half an hour to an hour ahead of normal, to accommodate for our exquisite gentlemen. Law number 2. Nothing is ever Philip's fault. Now there are a ton of examples of Philip omitting fault, but one stood out to me. It was whenever Preston, Elijah, Drew, and Philip were playing Helldivers 2 one night, and Philip jetpacks off of a cliff to extract, only to land directly under Elijah's mech and kill him. Now this funny little incident spawned a 10-minute argument of if it was intentional or not, with Philip believing Elijah was at fault for killing him. Fed up with this, Elijah said the magic phrase, "PlayStation, record the last 5 minutes." With this new evidence, we can clearly see Elijah walking in place with the mech where the mission ends. And Philip could reasonably see the mech's path, but he was too late to change course and got trampled. So in the end, this innocuous moment turned into a heated debate over who was at fault for something so minuscule. And it birthed the idea that Philip cannot be at fault, ever. It also spawned a pretty funny catchphrase when we see our friends doing something suspicious.
You like boys.
Law number 3. Chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard and cookie dough blizzards are two very different items. This is in reference to times when he would attempt to order a blizzard from Dairy Queen, but got something else completely. To set the scene, this right here is a cookie dough blizzard. As you can see, it has little specks of cookie dough in it. Now this is a chocolate chip blizzard. It has chocolate chips in it. Now, what Philip orders is a combination of both. A chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard. In reality, he wants a cookie dough blizzard, but anytime he orders it, he gets a chocolate chip blizzard. Probably because the employees hear the first part of it and assume he wants a chocolate chip blizzard. Now, instead of just saying you want a cookie dough blizzard, Philip chooses to continue asking for a chocolate chip cookie dough blizzard. His reasoning for this is, he assumes, that the workers there should know the difference already. Make it make sense. Here's a particularly funny photo of one of these incidents. You can visibly see the disappointment in his eyes.
It's like when you see a puppy who has cancer. It's just the saddest shit, you know what I'm saying, YouTube?
He then proceeded to take a couple bites of it and throw away the entire blizzard. You can do the mental gymnastics as to why he does this, but that's just how he operates. Can I get a cookie dough blizzard? Just a small. Thank you. Alright. This is my blizzard. I don't know if it's cookie dough or not.
We'll taste it to find out.
Law number 4. Philip does not think inside nor outside the box, but rather in the shape of a box. Drew helped me explain this main idea for this law, so I want to thank him for that. Essentially, this idea is that Philip takes the longest way possible to get to a goal that is ultimately obtainable through much easier methods. For example, during the launch of Fortnite Chapter 5, Peter Griffin was a part of the Battle Pass, and I got him unlocked while there was still a week or two left in the Battle Pass. Now, Philip hadn't played the season at all, but he wanted to unlock the skin, so he decided he was going to play Creative Tycoon maps for some XP progress. Even though just playing the game semi-weekly will get you enough XP to progress at a decent pace. I myself am level 46 in the Battle Pass as of the time of recording, and I play only once or twice a week, and I don't even have the Battle Pass this season. Now, he did unlock Peter Griffin's skin after I bought the Battle Pass for him because he was broke, and he hasn't touched the game since then, so it raises the question of, why would you even go through this endeavor in the first place if you weren't even going to play? Hence why we believe he thinks in the shape of a box, because no one else has this methodology when it comes to playing video games. Law 5. If there is a Dairy Queen, Philip is already there. This one goes in tandem with the third law, but it's pretty simple. Philip shall and will be inside a Dairy Queen if he so chooses, for he cannot deny the delicious cookie dough blizzards, which is very different from chocolate chip cookie dough blizzards. Law 6. Food is not a snack, nor is food a snack. This law has Philip defining the difference between a snack and food. He is saying a snack is different from lunch, breakfast, or dinner, but he also believes that a snack is not food. So, the law is that snacks never count towards a meal. This one's actually partially made up. Drew had a discussion about the differences initially and quoted that as something Philip would say, to which he read out loud after the discussion, and Philip goes, "That's not even what I said!" Law 7. It's only okay when Philip does it. This one refers to any instance where we say stupid brain rot, Philip will get annoyed at us. But when Philip says the stupid brain rot, it's magically okay for him to say it. The prime example of this was when Hawk Tuah was the big meme, and Philip was the #1 hater of it. Which is fair, but as time went on, he opened up to it, and he still says it occasionally, despite the meme and the creator being fucking dead. Law 8. Philip's day will immediately be ruined upon asking how his day was. This is one that I built up over a relatively short amount of time. Essentially, Philip will get extremely mad if people ask him about his day. And by people, I mean me. Since I am the one who usually asks this question, I do it just to simply start a conversation, as I think it's a relatively harmless and simple way to start a conversation. But Philip thinks otherwise. He gets very furious at this, stating that, "I've known you for so many years. You've already known nothing happened today, and if something did happen, I would talk about it." Now, I still don't really understand that logic to this day, but if something actually did happen to Philip that day, and we ask to elaborate with him, he'll just say he doesn't want to talk about it every single time. But Philip is a mysterious man, so trying to talk to him is a matter only true autists like myself can do. And it's also funny to see him get mad over such a simple question. Law 9. Philip is a Elmer Fudd and a friend group of Bugs Bunnies. The last rule was a funny analogy I came up with on my way home from school. It basically means Philip is Elmer Fudd, someone who tries to hunt the wabbit known as Bugs Bunny, but ultimately fails due to the rabbit being more creative and mentally stronger, to the dismay of Elmer. This tends to drive Elmer crazy. Now, all of our friends drive Philip crazy in one way or another, hence why he gets so angry and upset over the littlest things. Still, the hunt shall still go on. That's all the rules as of now. I might make a second part if there's any additional rules we create in the future, but that's it for now. I also want to preface this by saying Philip is one of my greatest friends that I've ever met in my entire life, and that we all do this because we love him. No homo. Hopefully he doesn't see this video because he might actually kill me, but it'll be worth it.